Federal Ministry of Education has condemned the incident involving candidates sitting in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination at night using Torchlight. The Minister of State for Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, expressed his displeasure in a statement issued in Abuja by the ministry's Director of Press and Public Relations, Folashade Boriowo, which reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to ensuring a conducive environment for learning and assessment. Alausa criticized the poor conditions under which the examination was conducted at Unity Secondary School in Asaba Delta under the supervision of the State Ministry of Education. The minister said the ministry is working in collaboration with the Delta government and the West African Examination Council to investigate the matter and ensure appropriate corrective measures are taken, and reiterated his commitment to improving educational infrastructure and ensuring that students across the country have access to safe and enabling environments for teaching, learning, and assessment. I think the process is still going on. I don't know how. Depend on the states and the schools of the West African Senior Examination Council that the African Senior Examination that's been going on in some states. This part of most of the students writing the exams with Torchlight. We know how these exams are conducted. Most schools have the opportunity of holding the West African examination. I don't know if all schools are allowed to. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong, you may correct me, please. Are all schools allowed to conduct the West African examination?
Well, the natural thing is that it's like this place is. It's not all radio stations that has television station.
Okay,
you understand?
I just wanted to know, are all schools allowed?
They normally,
so they pick
there are conditions.
Okay,
and they normally go for accreditation.
So in that instance, for this particular school that the students had to use Torchlight, that means there were not proper assessments that was conducted before this examination took place in the school.
I wouldn't say that. In fact, to start with, why are they writing the exam in the night? Is that the timetable? That's the first question you should ask. Is that the timetable? To me, in fact, not even writing, in fact, say they are writing the exam in the night with Torchlight. That is a reflection of the state of affairs in the country, just like what happened in JAM recently. And later, we now realize that it is part of the civil war that is continuing. I've said that
I asked a question about JAM when NECO and WAEC said they want to introduce the use of CBT for WAEC and JAM, and the question was, if JAM is yet to get it right with the CBT situation, what's that possibility that WAEC and NECO will actually get it right, considering this particular story that has come up in the open?
You see, no matter how intelligent you are, I usually say this to people, no matter how intelligent you are, like we are on this program, right?
Okay.
Watchers with developed capacity, they'll know who you are, even on issues. They don't need to ask you any question. Watchers with improved capacity will know who I am. If you go to my page on social media, you don't need to ask me certain questions, except I don't write. But if I do, like currently, any serious-minded organization that is into recruitment, they want your social media handle. It tells who you are. That's the simple truth. And it's very unfortunate. There is this, I'm told in South Africa, there's I think it's a university, it has a plague by the gates. Plague. And what is written on it is that you don't need nuclear weapon to destroy the future. Right? That all you need to do is to tamper with the quality of education. Nelson Mandela says something very instructive. He said, if you want that education is the weapon that you can use to change the world. And he also went ahead to say something very instructive, that The more informed you are, the less arrogant and aggressive you become. You know, thorough knowledge humbles. It removes your jacket, remove your wristwatch, and make you will be humble. I had the opportunity of traveling over the weekend. I was in Calabar, and I almost wept when I saw I was in year 1, 1991-92. This is 2025. The Itu Urukmani Road is still in that deplorable state till now. The conclusion of that, what's written on that flag, is that if you want to destroy the future, just tamper with the education. It will produce fake doctors. Let me use fake for all. It will produce fake professionals in every field. Even now that I talk to you, even surveyors, it is mandatory that if what you produce is not registered survey, you are supposed to put a mandatory sign of site plan, SP, so that anybody who is coming across it will know that this is not a registered survey. The surveyors are doing it without adding SP, except when you conduct what we call search. That's going to be revealed that this is not a registered survey. In every field, look at what lawyers are turning law into. You just check it. You know that our future is bleak. Now, if those who clearly possess fake certificates are being validated by court of law, that is said to be the last hope of the common man, just ask our young people, if you are sincere, let's just ask ourselves, who are the people that are being presented, whether overtly or otherwise, to our young generation as mentors? Who are those? When you check the characters of those, then you can make a comment about our future. That is the greater picture that we should even be concerned about. Not this isolated case of writing. What are you doing with it? Has it become a cockroach business? That you are not only, they should call it nocturnal work. You write exam in the night. In fact, this one, writing in the night, is even a tiny aspect of it. How about fraud? That people are engaged openly in fraud, cheating. Do you understand it? Even in the university. Check today, people who have nothing, neck up, are people that are being awarded doctorate degree, honorary doctorate degree. People who cannot expect, when you discuss with them, you know that they are empty. These are people that are, so, or what incentive is that to a younger generation? That should be even a focus. That's words of concern to anybody.
In essence, are you trying to say that this particular situation will, evolve, bring up the people most upcoming and new generation of people with fake certificates? Are you saying it's going to affect your educational system?
You have, as I'm speaking to you now, right? You see, the one you can see very clearly, naturally, they will always tell you that we have 3 arms of government. They will tell you legislature, judiciary, and the executive. Beyond that, these political charlatans, these political opportunists have taken over the gate of intellectualism and destroyed it. Our academic system is gone, though.
So if those, like you stated, that most of these schools are accredited schools, yes, that have the certain qualification before they are allowed to, hold such exam.
Yes.
How come certain assessment isn't done?
Or facilities are not in
facilities, place. Yes, the equipment. I think Gun State, the residents were crying over ICT center in most of the schools that are dilapidated, deplorable. Let me not say deplorable. In a really worsened situation. And then we talked about the JAMB exam. Imagine most schools that have their ICT centers not in good condition, and you want the students to get to write exam. I mean, are there not supposed to be assessment committee that oversee affairs like this? That school, if a school is accredited for such exam, there should be necessary equipment, tools, materials that should be in place for the smooth writing of these examinations.
Who are those that are going to provide that? The system is entirely submerged in corruption.
You asked who was supposed to, isn't it the Ministry of Education supposed to provide that?
Who are the people that are going to do that? Are they not human beings? See, perhaps you do not understand the extent of the mess. When I use the word mess, the deplorable state of affairs that we are in this country. It's so unfortunate, but we have to state the obvious if we are interested in the future. Do you understand? We have to, at a certain point, we have to tell ourselves that, look, people, things are not way that things ought to go globally. I was sharing with you some time ago. Do you know in Ghana here they have what we call gap year? We don't have it here. In some of the school in the West, they do that exchange program and the rest of them that move students from one part of the world to another or whatnot. There is a problem. And I am assuring our leaders who are destroying this system, I think it was J.F. Kennedy who said that a system that cannot protect the majority cannot guarantee the security of the few. Did you get that? A system that cannot guarantee the welfare of the majority cannot guarantee the security of the few. This thing is vice versa. It is only when some of them become victims or their families become victims, you hear people talking about, oh, banditry, oh, kidnapping, oh, this. These are the people they partner with, even during election. Use them. You heard of the expose talking about 2015, how they won on the platform of bringing in terrorists
what
into
has
this country.
to be done quickly, Barrister Mankey, on this kind of
As a
situation?
solution?
Yes, please.
It's a complete overhaul. And I am telling you, you can take me.
Because I'm not sure this will only be
take me
Delta
serious.
State will only
it's
be
all over.
That will
It's
be
widespread. In fact, what is even reported is it's a minimized situation compared to what is going on. In fact, if you want to move to a center and you want to control that things should be done properly, students should sit down and write. Write from where? Blank space? Until the leadership takes. See, let me say this to you. No matter the energy and effort you put in prosecuting a journey in the wrong direction, you will never get to your destination. I can say that to you again. No matter the energy and effort you put in a journey in the wrong direction, will never get you to your destination. Desired destination. Do you understand? The moment or at any point you realize that you're on the wrong path, it's just like moving along a way, you are giving direction, and you from time to time ask questions. At any point that somebody gives you an information that tells you inside that you are on the wrong path, the best thing is to make a withdrawal or to return until we get right leadership. I think Nelson Mandela said it before he died, that until Nigeria occupy its place of pride, that the whole black race is looking up to Nigeria. I had Professor P.O. Lumumba saying it recently, that the day Nigeria wakes, and that is leadership.
Okay, you're talking about the hierarchy.
Yes,
from
leadership.
Okay.
The moment the head is correct, forget it. Do you know that speed is inferior to direction? Direction is superior to speed. If you embark, let's say you run out of this building and they say we are going to Chuba, and I ran out of this building and I'm heading to my tree, I can't get to Chuba. It means I ran out of this building with wrong information. It will give me wrong direction. Okay. So I can't get to Chuba in that direction I'm going. That's exactly. Until we get it right, the whole world. And I want to believe that somehow God knows how he will do it. Because now the law haven't been destroyed. I, as a lawyer, don't even look up to law. I am now appealing and consoling myself with something that is higher. You know, Professor David Hood said something that keep my head afloat. Oh, that yes. Every lawyer of experience knows that in any case, there is the plaintiff's truth, there is the defendant's truth, there is the witness's truth, there is the judge's truth, and there is another truth which is only known to God. I call that the fifth truth. Okay. A day is coming in this country when we'll be ready to face the fifth truth, where incompetence will take over incompetence.
So